Alright, so I wanted to know what people wanted to know about Harry Potter becoming an R. If you don't know what it is in the Harry Potter world, basically it's like law enforcement, but for wizards. And I just found this post from like 11 years ago, and I wanted to use it and give my 2 cents on it. He said the trio's jobs after Hogwarts made no sense to me. To elaborate, Harry is an R. Why? He watched friends die, fought in epic battles, traveled the country searching for Horcruxes, and in the end, finally defeated the most evil dark wizard of his time. Time to relax a bit, right? Wrong. He gets himself in a career that has him doing all of that as his day to day. Plus, he wasn't even that competent doing the whole thing. Hermione was there figuring it out every step of the way. There was also Dumbledore, his teachers, other friends, even his connection to Voldemort helped unwrap some of the clues. If he had been by himself or even the smartest guy in the room, he wouldn't haven't gotten much done. Sorry, but from what I've read, it's true. I mean, what did you really expected Harry to kill Dumbledore? I mean, kill Voldemort all by himself? Of course, people are gonna help. This is the most evil dark wizard of all time. As far as competent, I give you some leeway with that. Of course he's not as talented as Hermione Granger, but he had his moments of competence. I can't 100% agree with that. Disagree with that though. You're not gonna be by yourself doing something of that accomplishment though. And I do agree that he's not the smartest guy in the room. Obviously, we all know that. Then you throw in the logistics. I don't know how to pronounce that word 100%. Of being world famous as the savior of the wizarding world, while also trying to be a wizard cop. How well could that work? Walk into a room to apprehend some dude, and someone shouts, "Blimey, it's Harry Potter." The guy he was chasing, yeah, he's long gone. Meanwhile, Harry is trying to hold off the crowd, asking for more autographs. And I can't 100% disagree with that. But I will say, obviously, the hype will die down. People won't be asking for autographs all his life. Do he have clout? Yes, but not everybody just gonna be dick riding Harry Potter because he ended Voldemort. That's mainly like a school thing. In the real world, people not 100% gonna be on him like that when he's older. And actually, that actually helps with him being a cop. Oh shit, it's the dude that killed Voldemort. Fall back. Striking fear in your enemies just off your name alone and the scar on your forehead, that actually helps. So one idea I've heard thrown around was Quidditch. Can't say I see that either. I mean, the guy says repeatedly that he does not want to be famous. So I don't see him going into such a fame-driven career such as that. Yeah, I can't see him doing that either. I agree with that. My ideal teacher, think about it. He'll be Harry Potter, the boy who lived, defeater of Voldemort, to all the first years. After a while, most of the students will adjust and he'll be Professor Potter. He has always considered Hogwarts his home. He had a deep respect and near idolized Dumbledore. Plus, after a while, Dumbledore defeating Grindelwald kind of became old news after his many other exploits as headmaster. I think Harry will end up the same. He also showed promise in teaching others in his 5th year with DA. Yeah, man, I disagree. People who want to be teachers, you can obviously tell from a young age the reason why they want to be teachers. And you can even tell that they're going to be teachers. Harry is not that at all. Hermione would be someone you would think would be a teacher because of her intellect, her skills, and her just love for knowledge and teaching other people. No, Harry is not. To me, he wasn't talented enough to be a teacher. Nor did he care enough for teaching. It's a difference. You have to actually care for teaching as well. Would he be bad as a teacher? No. Of course he wouldn't be bad as Harry Potter. But no, it's not for him. You can just look at him and just the way he came out throughout the years, he's not a teacher. Now for Ron, in R, he was even less competent than Harry. Great friend, yeah. Helpful, yeah. Loyal, yeah. Brave, when it came right down to it. Able to defeat any dark witches and wizards without Hermione and Harry at his side? Doubtful. Honestly, I'm not knocking any of the trio, but they are the trio for a reason. They all had a role. Once they are split up, they're hurting, which I agree with. Obviously, a team is better than, one person. They all have their strengths and weaknesses. What do I see Ron doing? Keeper, cannons. He wasn't that great, but neither are the cannons. So, seems legit. He was always such a fanboy, too. Why would he pass it up? Not going to argue with that. But it makes much more sense that Ron and Harry are ours together because they're the duo. So of course they're gonna stay together and keep defeating bad guys. Plus they have battle experience against the dark witches and Dark Lord like Voldemort himself. That plays a big part for ours. A police officer that saw combat and know how to emotionally regulate themselves in combat and just have experience. That's powerful. Hermione, love of books, smart, etc. Hogwarts teacher for sure, though I could also see her in the ministry. Gotta get the equal rights for house elves, centaurs, and giants. Plus, she has always seemed the most displeased with how the ministry operated. She'd make the changes. Just my opinions, take 'em or leave 'em. Now, to me, it makes so much sense that Harry is an R, especially with the house he's in, Gryffindor, right? Willing to take risks and stand up for what they believe in, portrayed as noble and honorable with a strong sense of justice. It makes complete sense he wants to be an R, especially when you account for the fact that these three kids have been on many adventures, dangerous adventures, and of course that's just like their personality. So it makes complete sense that they'll want to be R's because you going on more adventures and more dangerous criminals. It makes complete sense. Now I will say Ron being an Aura, it's kind of I never really got a strong sense of justice from Ron, but obviously he always has Harry's back. And what better addition to the Auras than somebody who's seen combat against the Dark Lord? Now, Hermione for Minister of Magic makes a lot of sense to me. She's always been intelligent, ambitious. She could be a school teacher too if she wanted to, but I like this way more. Obviously, the trio that took down Dumbledore will be in high positions of power, right? Me personally, I like their positions that they're in, and it would be great to see another movie of them in these positions, but that'll most likely never happen, especially with this new TV show that's going on. But man, just imagine a movie with those three just doing their thing in those positions. I would love to see that movie. I feel like obviously since it's called Harry Potter, it was Dick riding Harry throughout the whole series, and with these positions, they'll shine in their own way. Harry, Ron, and Hermione.